1970, we sure we did the forefront. Knowledge for selfish, for sure we did the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Work hard and we shine, commitment, dedication. Neurosurgery, comedy, music, Nollywood. SOTK, Dr. Call, MC Casino. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Great UNIBEN, great UNIBEN, great UNIBEN.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of the UNIBEN Alumni Series. As you know, every Wednesday we'll bring you new and refreshing episodes of the UNIBEN Alumni Series. This is a program where we showcase the very best that have gone through the four walls of the University of Benin. We celebrate them and we listen to their stories, hoping and wishing it inspires the current student and also the young alumni. And on today's episode, we have a very dynamic young man, as I would like to address him. He's a man that is doing brilliant, doing very well in his field. He is the Chief Information Officer at RxPress, Pharma, and the CTO at PIT Africa. He is Dr. Onyeka Onwughai. I hope I got that correctly. Thank you, Dr. Onyeka. Please help me with the pronunciation. I need to get that.
I get that. I get that most of the time, so it's not a problem. It's actually pronounced Onwughai, but however you pronounce it.
Okay,
yes.
Now I'll get it. Onwughai. Thank you very much, Dr. for joining us today. Dr. Onyeka holds a Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Benin. Dr. Onyeka, let's kick off. What made you decide to study pharmacy at the prestigious University of Benin?
Okay, I have always been science inclined. I've always been I'm an inquisitive person. Initially, when I wanted to fill for JAM, it was actually medicine I wanted to go for. But when I saw that it was, I didn't know that it was like medicine and surgery earlier. I was like, okay, there's no medicine, it's always medicine and surgery. So you have to still do some, it might not be a full-time surgeon, but you still just have to. And I have this hemophobia. Yes, a phobia for blood or seeing people cut. I can't really stand it like that. So I said, I'm fine with pharmacy. So I actually pharmacy, and I think I don't really regret my choice because right now I am doing so much with my profession, and I'm happy I chose pharmacy because I have so much more things to do the things I like. Yes. So
okay. Yes, let's get to the things you like. Today you are into tech, into technology, AI, data analysis, and all that. How did your interest in tech, how did it develop?
Okay, I have always had interest in tech right from when I became a teenager. I was just fascinated out how you could use codes from those little science, those theories that we did in secondary schools, that you now gravitated into using it to make technology that can make life easier for people. So I was just fascinated by that. Okay, I know they are teaching us the theory right now, but like look at what they have used all these things and we have learned in science, like what they have used it to make, and especially with in medicine. So I've always had that, like I've always been fascinated by it. So that was actually one of the reasons I choose pharmacy at the beginning, because I wanted to apply to like human. So, but when I was in school, say 200, 300 level, I was not saying, are you sure you know I'm choosing like computer science instead? Because this one that you're in pharmacy, but like you are so much interested in this tech aspect. Like, why don't you just so instead I said I love pharmacy. I love like saving lives with my profession. There is tech in pharmacy. So why not just apply this technology that you are so interested in, learn about it, and apply it to solving problems, human health. So that was what I decided to do. So while I was in school, towards because my one thing with UNIBEN Pharmacy School is exhausting. Actually, people that have gone through it will tell you like it's exhausting. And unlike other pharmacy schools at my time, where if you fail some courses, you like write a receipt in like a month or 2 months later. There's nothing like that in UNIBEN Pharmacy. You fail more than the minimum credit load, you are gone. You feel like three courses. You have to repeat. If you fail too much, they'll tell you don't even repeat your class, just go.
Okay, so I want to ask so that you can just add to your thoughts and your comments. How were you able to manage your time as a pharmacy student and also your interest in technology?
Okay, that is okay. The thing is, because of that, I didn't really start as early as I should. So I was just going for meetings in campus. There was Google Developers Group. There were different ones popping up. So I was just going there. But the actual coding, I would start, then I would stop, I would start, I would stop because of. But during from 500 level to 600 level, I had become used to it, so I knew how to like manage my time and this thing. So close to that COVID era, that was 2020, I registered for a boot camp. It's a data science and machine learning boot camp. It had like tutors from different countries. They were Nigerians, mainly Nigerians, but it also had a few. I think there was one lady that was a Singaporean lady, or Malaysian lady, I can't remember. She was also a tutor. And the participants were from different countries too. Although many of the participants were Nigerians, but there were also people from Ghana, from Uganda, from Cameroon, like 5 different African countries. So I registered for that, and to like a 6-7 months boot camp. It was very rigorous, just like our pharmacy school. And like every week you do like 2 or 3 tests, and they were ranking us based on your scores in that test. So that's just it. So that's what I did. At the end of the boot camp, I eventually came out the overall best performer. And the funny thing, the second place was also a UNIBEN student from my faculty. It was my direct junior, 1 year behind me. So I came out first, he came out second, then the other people, only people from engineering background, mathematics background that were supposed to do, because it was a machine learning boot camp. Had to do lots of mathematics and Python coding and the likes. So initially, they were people I told were explaining like a pharmacist, and there are many people from engineering and mathematics who come mathematics background. So are you sure you can do it? Because it has lots of computing and likes. But there's one thing I believe, like as far as someone that learned it, someone that did it, someone's brain that's formed that thing, it shouldn't be hard for me to do the same thing because he has a brain, I have a brain. With that, I don't, all those complex stuff like that, I just go in with that kind of mentality. As far as someone can learn it and teach it to someone else, and someone else can grab it, I can also grab it. So that's how it happened, and I eventually won the bootcamp. And the second also was from UNIBEN too. He came out second.
Yeah, congratulations on that. You talked about technology in pharmacy. Now I want to pick your brain. We want to get it for free. I know these are what people pay for and all that. How do you see technology shaping the future of pharmacy practice in Nigeria?
Oh, technology can really do a lot, and it will shape it for the better. But I think also there has to be literacy, tech literacy among the professionals. But how it will shape it? Okay, there are so many things. There are so many things so many problems we face right now in our healthcare profession that technology can actually solve. And they are used to solve, like, they're going to have used to solve these problems in the West, say in the UK, in the US, wherever, in the West. And it's not being implemented in Nigeria. And I'll give examples. So if we can start implementing some of all these things, it will really make it better. Say, for example, let me say you go into a hospital. Say, for example, let me use the University of Teaching Hospital. For example, you go there and such a person has several allergies, like it's allergic to some drugs, say penicillins, there's what they call steroid syndrome. That's it's when someone is allergic to some type of medication, especially sulfur containing drugs. There are some drugs that have sulfur in their chemical structure. So if someone like that takes drugs like that without knowing, it can be very fatal. So this person has so many, let me just say the person has a rich past medical history. And this person goes to EBT. Maybe the person was staying in North before and just relocated to Benin, and the person is sick and goes to EBT, for example, and goes to see doctor. Because there is no past medical record of this person, there's no medical record of his health conditions. They don't know the drugs he's allergic to. They don't know the past medical procedures this person has gone through. They don't know anything about this person. They'll treat the person as a neutral, as a new person. Say the person is having an infection, maybe an STI or an upper respiratory tract infection, and this person goes to do sensitivity tests, and they now say, okay, Septrin can work for this person, amoxicillin can work for this person, and this person is allergic to the two of them, but it has not been documented, and nobody knows. The doctor himself do not know. So what they normally do, doctor writes, okay, tab potrimozazole, that's a chemical name for Septrin, potrimozazole 960 milligram BD for 5 to 7 days. Right to the pharmacist. You go to the pharmacist. The pharmacist will not still know too, because there's no medical record. And this person will take it and go home, and the person will just take one. People have died from this thing. The person will just take one. Before you know, it's his body is just scratching him, and the picture I saw, the person's body was full of blood from scratching and the allergy the person had. Some people have died from it. So God forbid the person dies. What would they say? They say the person went to hospital to get drugs. He just took the drug and he died. They sold fake drug for this person. I know that it's nothing like that. Like, it's not fake drug. The person just had allergies that were not documented. So that's just one. there's telemedicine that we are not doing. There are many remote areas. There are many remote areas in Nigeria, many rural areas that they don't have facilities there, and they can do telepharmacy there. They can do telemedicine there, but the people in charge of that, do they know stuff like this? Do they make arrangements for stuff like this? So there are so many ways. I don't want to bore you with all the different this, because if I start, I had a meeting yesterday. Yesterday was like an hour to 2 hours, where I actually talked about all those things, care city, and many healthcare professionals were surprised, but they didn't even know. They didn't know that there are things like that. There are things that you can use. There are AI-powered devices that you can use for testing. Say someone has an infection. Let me see the same infection. And normally in Nigeria, the first point of call for infection is like when you are sick. Before you go to the doctor, the first place you go is like you go to the pharmacy. Just let me see was like how bad this thing is. Maybe if it's so bad, the pharmacist can refer you to the hospital. Go to the hospital. So most Nigerians, it's pharmacy they go to. So you go there and you are having an infection, and the pharmacist clicks you. Okay, you're having an STI. You're having this. You're having discharge and itching and stuff like that. The normal thing for them to do is to first they'll take your body fluid, like your urine, or a swab of your genitals where the fluid is coming from, and they'll go and do a test. That test will take like minimum of 3 days. They'll grow the bacteria or fungus or whatever before they'll give the blood. For those 3 days, the person can still be having excruciating pain, itching, and or they can give you some drugs to mitigate it. But do you know that there's actually a device? There's one called BioFire Film Array. What it can do is a point of care testing device. It can, with that swab, you can actually put it in that device, and within 45 minutes to an hour, it has given you the genetic profile of all the microorganisms in that swab, and to give you the sensitivity profile of all the microorganisms. So from there and then you can know which antibiotics to just give the person to go home and take. So that in 3 days' time, instead of the person to still be incapacitated, the person might have even gotten better, might not be feeling any itching or anything again. The person would have gone with his business.
Yeah. What do you think is the problem? Is it lack of exposure to these devices or finance to get these devices?
It is a multifaceted problem, but I think the major problem we are having is lack of exposure, that ignorance. What I've observed, I don't say this to shade my colleagues or to shade the medical professionals. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying what I've observed is that majority of healthcare professionals in Nigeria, their mind is not really open to solving problems like that. They are more interested in like their welfare, like how much should they pay me? I want to do something that will give me money now and now. They're not like solving problems for the future. And there are a few people that are like that too, but majority of them are like, what can I do that will give me money in the next 2-3 months? I don't want to go and learn tech skill that will take me like 1 year to perfect before I will not be submitting and sending emails for interviews and stuff like that before I will not get a tech job and stuff. I want something that will give me money. So I will say this to you, you can go to any tertiary institution right now and do a survey among the healthcare professionals, the doctors, the pharmacists, and the other ones. Do a survey among them and tell them, when you finish, what do you want to do? I guarantee you, not up to 10% will tell you, I want to use tech to solve problems in our healthcare. I want to go into research. Many of them will say, I want to work in a hospital. I want to go and open my own pharmacy.
Don't you also think sorry to cut in, sorry to budge in. Don't you also think that university syllabus, our coursework should also be open to tech? There should be an avenue for tech to be infused in these teachings.
Yes, of course, I think it's actually part of my future plans to do a proposal in that aspect to change the curriculums of all these schools and grades. But the thing is, the world is not a global village.
Yeah.
And like most of our curriculum in schools are dated is very true. But you are a global citizen, like you have the internet, you have things, you are exposed to stuff like this. So if they are teaching you outdated things, if they are teaching you things, you should also try and do a little research to know how it is being applied in real life, or like how it's being done outside the country, how it's being done, the international best practices. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Because except you are planning to stay in Nigeria forever, except you don't plan to be a world-class healthcare professional or a world-class professional in whatever you are doing, if you are learning something in your university, they cannot really teach you everything. They will teach you some things, but you should also think, okay, is this the same way they do it in the US? You should also think like that, or they do it differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We talked about, why do you responding to the previous question? You talked about fake drugs, and we all know that's a big challenge in our country, Nigeria. What role can technology play in combating production of fake drugs, fake medication?
Okay. There are many ways now to combat fake medications. There are many ways. One is optimize supply chain. There is this new way of this supply chain, so that you incorporate blockchain technology into supply chain. As we know, if you have any idea about blockchain technology, it's an open ledger system. In such a way that if you get drugs from the warehouse, or drugs are shipped into the country, you can track where that drug is going. You can track changes to the inventory. You can track everything, and not just that. Anybody that makes anything that takes drugs from the inventory, it will alert everybody. And there are also special markers you can put in that. There are special, let's say, tracking devices, small miniature tracking that you can put in your drug packaging, in such a way that if anyone tampers with it, or if anyone tampers with it, you will know. Like, let me use what NAFDAC was using. I've been using for some time. Of course, there's this one of text messages and scratch card, where they'll put like a seal on it. Then when you see the drug, you see that seal, you can scratch it and text the number to a certain number. And if it doesn't align, they'll tell you that's one way. But the thing is, most of these counterfeiters, they have been able to like look for a way to surmount that way.
Whoa.
Yeah, there are several ways you could actually escape that system. There is also the one of like, well, this one is kind of futuristic. It has not been like fully be implemented. Where there are markers you can put in the excipients of the drug. Excipients are like the other things apart from the active ingredients. Like if you are making a drug now, the active ingredient doesn't make the full weight of the drug. You can make maybe 5-10% of the weight. The other part can be like your binders, your colorants, your stabilizers, and the rest. So what some do, they put like some kind of special markers, those things, so that when you take it to the end, of the supply chain and check, you can easily know that if it doesn't have those markers, you can know that this thing is counterfeit or not. Yeah, and there are so many other ways they use to combat
fake medication. Okay. A few years ago, your startup won the Bill and Melanie Gates Foundation grant. I think that was a collaboration with the Edo State government, if I'm correct. Can you give us an insight about the startup that won the grant and how you were able to emerge successful to get the grants?
Okay. The name of the startup, RxPress Pharma. RxPress Pharma is a drug distribution startup. I am not the founder. I am one of the board members. So it's like a board of pharmacists. Yes, we all. So what we do, we are into rare medications. We help source for rare medications. Medications like anti-cancer medications. There are so many of them. Most of the medications you see on the shelves in pharmacies, they are like, let me say, 20 to 30% of the main drugs. So there are other drugs that you don't stock in pharmacies because of different reasons. Because pharmacies is a business, they have to stock what is like in demand and what they can easily sell and what is cheap enough for them. There are some drugs that are worth 10 million. There are some drugs that are worth 16 million, 20 million for just a pack. So what we do at RxPress Pharma, we help source for these medications. When someone is looking for a medication like that, you will not find it in most pharmacies. They can contact us and we'll help them get those medications. And we also sell other medications that's mostly scarce medications. It's a specialized pharmacy. And we also do telemedicine, that's remote telepharmacy, remote pharmacy, pharmaceutical services, and the likes.
Oh, okay. Talking about telepharmacy, how receptive is it for Nigerians especially? Are they really accepting? Are they really engaging in telepharmacy?
Yes, they are. Actually, it's gaining ground. That's what I can say, because initially I had seen some startups were doing it, but some of them used to stop halfway. But there's one that recently came outside. A senior colleague of mine, I think, I don't know whether you heard of it, Pharma. Pharma came out like last year, and they are actually gaining grants. Within a few weeks to a month, they had more than 1,000 downloads. And yes, they had more than 1,000 downloads, and they pay the pharmacist. So the way it works is you sign up as a pharmacist, and someone from anywhere in Nigeria can just like, the person wants to talk to a pharmacist, and the person will book a conversation with you, and you talk with the person, and when you are done, you get paid, and they get paid a decent amount, 10,000-20,000 naira per consultation.
Okay, that is progress. That is good to hear. As we gradually wind down, I would like us to go back to UNIBEN. You spent 6 years in
COVID-19.
Plus COVID, okay. So you spent a reasonable amount of time at the University of Benin. What can you single out as your best moment as a UNIBEN student?
My best moment?
Yeah.
I think my best moment was the day of my induction into the pharmacy profession.
all your hard work, it was recognized, and okay. Okay,
Exactly.
that's good. Okay. Lastly, UNIBEN gives people different things. People go there to make friends, to make network. It teaches them a lot of things. For you, what is that attribute you took from the University of Benin?
If there's one thing I would say that Unipen blessed me with is um, curiosity. Curiosity, like diligence in your work. Because when I got into pharmacy school, I wasn't expecting to read as many like those books were so many. And like the funny thing was that when I started reading them, I felt the information was not enough, and I even had to go online to read more articles, watch YouTube videos. I was just more curious. So, because the kind of person I am not really. I when I was in school, I really didn't cram so much. I was more like someone that loved understanding concepts. Like I want to get the whole information about this thing. How does this thing work? If you teach me how these things used to solve this problem or how these things used to cure this thing else, I want to know how it works. What's the background behind? What are the principles it follows and all those things. So I'm like that. So Uniben increased my curiosity, and it has really helped me because that is the basis of what some of the startups I'm working on now. That's the basis of how they were formed. When I was in 500 level, we were being taught clinical pharmacy. So from when they were being taught clinical pharmacy, I started noticing what they were teaching us and what was obtainable in real life or what was obtainable in Nigeria about how you practice pharmacy was somewhat different. So I'm wondering, you are teaching us this thing, this is the ideal way, but this is not the way it's being done in outside. So I had a book that time. I used to call it my book of solutions. So when I noticed some of all these problems, I just write the problems and I started brainstorming, started writing out solutions and stuff like that. So it's all those things I started working on immediately I graduated. And that's what forms this some of all these startups I'm actually managing right now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Onyeka. It has been wonderful speaking with you. Thank you. I've been speaking with Dr. Onyeka Onwughai. Oh my God, Onwughai. Yeah, he's a pharmacist and also an innovator. He's a chief information officer at RxPress Pharma. Continue to subscribe to our channel. We'll bring you more exclusive interview of UNIBEN alumni. Bye for now.
1970, we sure we did the forefront. Knowledge for service, for sure we did the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law.